job to hide the truth. It's our job to shout it on the mountaintop, so to speak. Say, Babylon is taken. Ancient Babylon is taken. Just like modern Babylon going to be taken. Or the daughter of Babylon, which is America. Bel, another Semitic Babylonian deity, is confounded. Merodach, which is Marduk, like I said, he's mentioning it. Enuma Elish. It's a tongue twister to me. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. The third verse. For out of the north, which is Russia, there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. Now we know that that's not talking about ancient Iraq, because there's people that are living in Iraq today. And Iraq was ancient Babylon. That's where most of those gods came from. I'm going to read it again. The third verse. Jeremiah 50:3. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together. What does that mean? When you go back to the splitting of the two kingdoms, all right, and I want you to get me 2 Kings 17. The splitting of the two kingdoms, them two kingdoms are going to come back together. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. And they're already back together. That's why I'm sitting before you, all right, of the kingdom of Judah. The man next to me is of the kingdom of Israel, all right, or the northern kingdom. And I will be from the southern kingdom. That's why you have so-called Puerto Ricans, Ephraim, so-called Mexicans, Issachar, and so forth. Okay? And then what you didn't understand, Polite, you quoting scriptures like you're going to confound us, and you don't even know the scriptures, man.
This is 2 Kings 17. Let me start at the top.
No. Start at the verse that he liked.
Okay, verse 18. It says, therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
Now, the word there should have been the kingdom of Judah or the northern kingdom, because the ones that remained was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That's why when the Messiah came on the scene, Yahushua, when he came on the scene, who did he gather? Who did he teach? He taught among Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, because that was the southern kingdom. So the word tribe there shouldn't be there. Go ahead, Doc.
It says, also Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their power, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of spoilers.
Right. And I ask you, who are the spoilers? And you use that scripture to say that the Lord did away with all Israel. And that's that old shit that Dr. York brought out. The guy with the 75 names. The guy that's locked up right now because he had several counts of child molestation. That guy. The guy that was visited by 3 gentle aliens from the star system of Zeta Ractuli. And I forget, and one of his names was the green one. Oh, one of the visitors was named, I think his name was Krill. Krill from the star system, Reticuli, Zeta Reticuli. Come on, man.
If I may say that, please, Elder. Hey, but you're going to have a problem with us believing that a giant fish can swallow a man, but you're going to believe this bullshit, man?
Yeah, I can't believe that. I just can't conceive that in my mind. You see it right there. There's 2 accounts of men that were swallowed by whales Oh, and I looked up the word well in the Hebrew, and then when you go into the New Testament, what is that? Matthew's 12, and I believe is it 40? I know it's Matthew's 12. I'll bring it up.
12 and 40, yeah.
12 and 40, right?
Yeah, Jonah, yeah.
When you look up that word well, you know what the word there is? It's a Greek word, and the word goes back to sea monster.
Yeah, which could be Leviathan.
And that's why that day I kept yelling out, Job 41, Job 41, Job 41. Right. I said it a bunch of times, man.
Right. And I had, and to testify, I had the scripture, I had it ready to go, but there was so much confusion.
Yeah, because the demons, hey, we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Yeah.
That's and then right. You said, you almost had me. Y'all almost had me.
Yeah. Until
that fish thing came up. Well, guess what? We got the scientific, we got the accounts of men that were swallowed by whales, if you want to call it a whale, because, like I said, the word said fish in the Old Testament, which I believe the actual word was dagon. And then in the Greek, the word for whale is really sea monster. It translates into sea monster. So that would have to be Leviathan, most likely. Mm-hmm. Genesis, the first chapter, the Apocrypha speak about the, matter of fact, give me that in the Apocrypha.
It says great moving whales.
Yep,
in the first chapter, Genesis.
You know what I want in the Apocrypha, right? No. When it speaks about Leviathan. Leviathan had 7 parts.
So the translators, when they translated for them to give you the image of a giant fish, they just put the word whale there.
Yeah, I mean that lost in translation.
Yeah,
know?
Lost in translation.
But like I said, when you go to the actual Greek in the New Testament, that's why Nate, that's why you got to know the Hebrew and the Greek, man.
That's right.
All right?
Notice
I'll find it if you can't find it.
Notice Polite and those guys. They didn't even
I think it's like 7. The second Ezra is 7. Right. Yep. Yeah. All right, go ahead. All right,
this is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 47. Upon the 5th day thou saidest unto the
5th day of creation. Okay? Would you believe that in Numa Elish that this one God took another God and split it in half and made one half of the body? We'll go back in the story. One half of the body, the heavens, and the other half, the earth, and all this bull. That's complete. How can you believe that bullshit, man? But you can't accept the story of a man being swallowed by a fish. Wow. Go ahead.
Upon the 5th day thou saidest unto the 7th part, where the waters were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures, fowls and fishes, and so it came to pass. For the dumb water and without life brought forth living things at the commandment of the Most High, that all people might praise thy wondrous works. Then didst thou ordain 2 living creatures, the one thou callest Enoch, and the other Leviathan.
Enoch means learned one. Loosely translated, it means learned one. When you go into the genealogy of Adam, the sons after him, Noah was mentioned, and Enoch, Methuselah was mentioned, and Enoch was mentioned. And the word Enoch, the special thing about Enoch was he didn't even get old and die. There was a certain age that the Most High beamed him right up into the heavens, man, and translated him. You know, like beam me up, Scotty? The Most High beamed him up. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, and did it separate the one from the other?
Right. Did it separate man from the other? Go ahead.
For the 7th part, namely where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. Unto Enoch thou gavest 1 part, which was dried up the 3rd day, that he should dwell in the same part wherein are 1,000 hills. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the 7th part, namely the moist, and has kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt and when. Upon the 6th...
In other words, you know, when you go back to Greek mythology, right, and Zeus says summon the Kraken, well, Zeus is really the Most High. That's them Israelites that were Hellenized and came up with those concepts. Because Zeus never existed. Kronos, his father, never existed. All right? Kronos was known for eating his babies. And Zeus was saved by his father before his father could eat him. You know, that's all bullshit, man. It's cunningly devised fables, man. Like when you go out to the Vatican City, they have a statue of